Someone doesn't want to go outside and turn off their freaking car alarm.
Yeah, who's just like letting their car alarm go off at 11:20 in the morning? Hello, listeners, and thank you for tuning into Those Nerds Over There. This is an enthusiast podcast centered around celebrating and discussing nerd culture. We're your hosts. I'm Alan.
And I'm Sal. And Alan.
What's up?
So, our anniversary is coming up in a couple months, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness, I believe it is October 24th.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So, in preparations for something that we're planning on doing, I've been listening to our podcast, like very early episodes.
Oh Lord.
And
please tell me we've shown at least marginal improvement.
Oh man, we're so much better.
Oh, thank goodness.
But I have to make an apology real quick to somebody.
Uh-oh.
Karen, who I used to bring up so often in our podcast. Now I have forsaken her, and I want to say I'm sorry, Karen. You're great.
I'm sorry, Karen. We took you for granted a lot.
Yes. So, yeah, we've definitely improved. But surprisingly, I still enjoy our early episodes, and they're not as bad as I remember them being.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Do they still got some good energy to them?
Yeah.
Just some horrible leveling issues?
Hey, we're working on it. Karen is working on it, okay?
Yes, actively. Thank you, Karen.
But anyway,
yeah, this show would not be where it is without you, Karen.
Thank you. And listeners, of course.
Of course. Thank you for joining us on this most auspicious, this will be August 21st.
Yay.
But without further ado, enough self-congratulations on our improvement. Let's go into this nerd question, shall we?
Yes.
For first-time listeners, thank you so much for joining us. This is what we call the Nut Jar. It's a jar we filled with listener-submitted questions that are just really fun discussion questions. Last week, I think we unanimously decided the most fun one was a question asked by my friend Jeff about what Pokemon characters do you think most likely to become homeless? If you have fun questions like that can be submitted to the show, feel free to send those to us at our Twitter, ThoseNerdsCast, or our email, thosenerdscast@gmail.com. If you do send in a question, be sure to include some kind of social media tag that we can shout out, because you deserve the attention. But without further ado, what were you saying?
What was that word you used? To
describe August 21st.
Yes.
Yes, I used the word auspicious.
There you go. I like that.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, I literally just threw in this question the other day.
Whoa.
Auspicious was right. Alright, this one comes from our friend Suspiria. You can find all of his links, his Twitter, Instagram, Twitch stream at suspiria.tv. That's Suspiria, spelled exactly like the horror movie.
Yes.
But Suspiria asked today, what comic that hasn't already been adapted would you like to see as a movie or series?
Oh.
Yes, I wrote this the other day and threw it in. Which is a shame, because there's some really good old questions in there. Not that this isn't a good question.
This is a great question.
It's a great question, but that means it's fresh on my mind, so don't mind if I go first and bring up the Adventure Zone.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
I was gonna guess, but you just were so excited to say it.
I mean, oh my gosh, like an amazing podcast that got adapted into an even more amazing graphic novel that they talk a lot about like, oh, who would they get to act as the characters for the movies, but I was thinking it would make for a much better animated series.
Ooh, animation.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
I like that.
maybe because I don't watch the Dragon Prince, but I don't got enough fantasy animation in my life, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I see your adventure zone,
Thank you.
which I still need to finish, but that's beside the point.
You're getting there. It's a pretty thick book.
It is thick,
Oh Lord.
and I'm still trying to get through my comics. You know me. But it's any kind of adaptation, right? The comic can be adapted into like a series or a movie.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes. You said any, I'm like, wait, what? There's a lot of adaptations.
Well, yes, but maybe I want an anime of a comic book. You don't know.
Oh.
But I don't.
I'm like, that would be interesting. I don't think how many like things get adapted into anime that's outside of Japanese culture.
Yeah, I don't think any. They had that weird Japanese Batman movie, right?
Oh, that's right. So, oh my gosh.
Which I haven't seen.
I peripherally saw it when my roommate was watching it.
Oh, what did they think?
They didn't like it, and I didn't listen to the words, but it was kind of like an acid trip watching like that inked like style that the movie is in.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Do they not like anime?
Oh no, he's a huge anime. Like I would say he is more nerdy than us.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, he does like he does the things you do that I don't and vice versa.
Oh, okay. Then I trust his opinion.
Okay, like Omar, if you ever hear this, that's a compliment. I love you.
Hey, what up? So I have two actually.
Ooh.
One I let you borrow.
The Wicked and the Divine.
The Wicked and the Divine. It is a graphic novel or comic book based off of these gods that get reborn every 100 years or so into these like pop stars or like just music idols in general. And they like still retain their powers and stuff. And it's very weird, but I thought it would do like very well as a kind of I'm saying CW TV show, but
no,
if we want it to be good.
I mean, you're saying CW now, and the problem is it seems like such a CW show.
It is such a CW show. Oh man. It would be a good live action CW show, but I'd really like it if it was good. So, maybe a Amazon show or a Hulu show.
Ooh, I haven't seen enough Amazon shows, and like the only one I know of is like Dororo.
Made in Abyss was an Amazon exclusive, and then oh man, there was something else that I watched.
All the horror animes.
No, it was a good anime. I just don't remember what it was. It had something to do with color.
Color? Was it the dictionary show?
No, it was a girl who couldn't see color. And she was like a mage from the future. And she went back in time and she learned that, love would make her see color. Some
what the fuck? That's the most anime.
Yes, it's very anime
plot line I've ever heard.
I think it was just called The World in Colors. Don't quote me on this, but it was actually really good, and it had some of like the best animation. That was Amazon exclusive, and the Amazon also had like The Tick.
Oh, which tragically.
Yeah. It's had some good stuff. We just don't really watch any of it.
Yeah.
So... But my other thing that I really want adapted is Gwenpool.
Ooh.
I think that would make for a good movie.
That would make for an excellent another like rated R movie.
It'd be so good. And the best part is she's actually back because they canceled her series and she just got rebooted in the comics. So it's called Gwenpool Strikes Back, I think. Which is not my topic, but
no, but I mean Gwen. I think after in the Spider-Verse, Gwen Stacy is really hot right now.
Yeah, so it'd be a perfect time to bring her in, even though like don't get people confused with Gwen Stacy. Like, wait, who is this person?
Is it not Gwen Stacy?
No, it's not.
Wait, who is this? Why did I think it was Gwen Stacy?
Because it looks like Gwen Stacy and her name is Gwen. It's funny because that's a joke in the comic book. She meets Deadpool and Deadpool's like, who the heck are you? She's like, are you Gwen Stacy? She's like, no, I'm not Gwen Stacy. And he's like, well, you're not Deadpool because I'm Deadpool. But it's just a really good bit. She's just a random person named Gwen. She's actually from our Earth, and she's like a huge nerd, so she knows all the comic books, and she gets like transported to, oh god, it's an isekai.
Oh man, American isekai.
She gets transported to the Marvel universe and becomes like a mercenary. And it's funny because she's really bad at being a superhero because she has no powers, but she has like full knowledge of all the powers of the people in the Marvel comics. So she kind of uses that to her advantage. And she has the whole like fourth wall breaking stuff that Deadpool has. So it's just a really good time, and I think it would be a good other kind of adaptation, sort of like Deadpool. You can even, if she's even a cameo in one of the Deadpools, that would be great too. But yeah, it's great. She's great.
Is there another Deadpool coming out? Please tell me there is.
I don't think it's been confirmed. I don't remember hearing anything about it, but I mean, he has to be coming back, right?
I hope so. I didn't, like you said, I didn't hear anything after Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. But they're also doing the whole, like, integrating the whole X-Men and stuff into the universe, so maybe they're, like, waiting on that.
Are they? Oh, into the Deadpool universe?
No, into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
They are?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, because Disney has Fox now.
But I thought they were going to keep the studio separate.
No, I'm pretty sure they're moving them in.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, I thought Sony had X-Men.
What?
Who am I? Where am I?
Well, Sony had Spider-Man, and he's in there. You know what?
Sorry.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know who.
I should know these things. I'm a nerd.
Just who owns what anymore? It's all a mess.
Yeah, we'll just say Disney probably owns it now. So there you go.
Disney owns us, that's for sure.
Yes.
And I don't mean the podcast, I mean like our souls.
But yeah, so Adventure Zone, Wicked and Divine, Gwenpool. Pretty diverse, actually. I like it.
Listeners, I'm sure there's so many amazing comics out there that only this year I really started to get into. But what are some that you really want to get adapted, especially now when like I think the MCU has proven people like this kind of stuff?
Absolutely. And comics are getting adapted way more nowadays, so it's like the perfect time for this.
Before we move on to what got us excited this week, I want to take a moment to thank our patrons. So, Eloy, Suspiria, thank you so much. Your support to this show, like we say each week, it just means so much. And I don't know, like, I'm not sure what else to say here. I'm just so sleep deprived also.
That's okay. We are very thankful, and it's hard to say how thankful we are in different ways every single episode, but we feel obligated because, we wouldn't be here without you, so
Exactly.
thank you.
Well put, Sal.
But anyways, Alan,
What's up?
what did you get excited about this week?
All right, this week it came from an Instagram ad.
Oh?
Tell me, Sal, how much you know about HarmonQuest?
The name rings a bell, but yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
All right, well, let me tell you. HarmonQuest is a fantasy role-playing, television show.
Oh, okay.
And it was created by Dan Harmon and Spencer Crittenden. So, Dan Harmon, writer, creator of Community, Monster House, Rick and Morty.
Seen none of those, but...
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Those span so many different generations. I figured you'd at least see one of them.
I know. I've heard of all of them.
Well, and then Spencer Crittenden is his DM, GM, role-playing master friend from his own podcast, Harmontown.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
Yeah, and so they made a show where they play, and I'm almost certain it's Pathfinder, and they do this in front of a live studio audience, which, what shows nowadays can you, I can't even think of any new shows that still do that.
Live studio audiences?
Yeah, either it's a weird sitcom that has replaced people with laugh tracks. We've somehow automated that job. Or, we just kind of forgo the whole studio audience thing.
It's funny you say that because now it's dawning on me that that's a thing.
The live studio audience?
The live studio audience laugh tracks. I just assumed it was always a live studio audience. But you don't need people for that. We have technology.
Yeah, no, literally. I was headed to work the other day, and in the waiting room, they were playing some strange TV land sitcom and just abusing the laugh track at these strange moments.
It wasn't the same laugh track, was it?
There were 3 variations.
Oh, okay. At least there's variations. Oh, man.
But, yeah, no, they play Pathfinder in front of a live studio audience, and they do it with their co-stars, Jeff Brian Davis, who is also on Harmontown, and Erin McGathy, who is Dan Harmon's ex-wife.
Okay.
Yep, and Dan and Erin and Jeff are the players, and Spencer is the DM, and they all do such a wonderful job at their own roles. And also on each episode, they have a special guest that plays with them. My favorite episodes thus far are the ones starring Paul F. Tompkins, Aubrey Plaza, Patton Oswalt, Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh, those are some good names.
Yeah, this is their Hollywood friends. And, a lot of these people, they've never played any kind of role-playing game.
That is the best time to get them on camera.
Exactly, and it's the show is edited down a lot. But it's so fun to see how initially hesitant they are, and then they kind of cut forward and you see, hey, they're really into it.
Nice.
I think that one's most evident, the Aubrey Plaza one, because then she's very confused when she shows up, and she's like, why am I a gnome? And then later she's just fucking with everybody.
Oh my god. I can picture her facial reactions and stuff. It's so great. I want to watch this.
It's an amazing show. So they play the game for the audience, and like I said, there's a bit of editing. So you don't get the whole actual play like you would in Critical Role, right?
Right.
But the episode that gets edited down also gets partly animated.
Oh, okay.
So it's also this half animation show.
Uh-huh.
All I can describe this show, it's unique. It has so many strange elements now. Between the live studio audience, the role-playing on camera, and having those role-playing bits animated, and then you watching it jump between the players at the table and then to the fantasy world.
That's actually really cool. I love things like that get animated.
All right, now some historical background for the show. Because it was initially aired on NBC's CISO streaming service. And I forgive you if you've never heard of this thing, because my goodness, was it short-lived.
Oof.
Yeah, oh my gosh. CISO was the first streaming service that I ever paid for myself. Because there was so much goodness on it. And I fell in love with some of the shows. The Mabim Bam television show, the My Brother and Me from the McElroys. They had a television show on CISO. HarmonQuest was on CISO. Bajillion Dollar Properties was on CISO. You could get all of the old SNL bits on CISO.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there was uncertainty over the longevity of the streaming service, so then NBC just cut the whole thing. And then all the shows ended up moving to Verve.
Classic Verve.
Yes. I don't know. I can't, I always hear Verve, especially because, from Channel Frederator, and I can't tell if Verve is popular or not, because it's also associated with Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I think, I don't remember, but I think Crunchyroll kind of cut ties with them, too.
Oh, what?
I remember seeing or hearing something about it, but it might have just been some weird, stupid article. But yeah, I also always hear Verve, but just in passing, I've never actually known anyone that actually uses it.
Well, now you do, because when the show got moved to Verve, which is VRV, listeners, the second season aired on Verve. It became episodic, but, that's fine. And that's where I watched it, and I actually did the whole paying for Verve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some pretty great things on Verve, by the way, because Bee and Puppy Cat's on Verve.
You have to, pay for channels on it, right? Or you get everything that's there?
That I'm not sure, because I went in specifically for a couple of shows and not really exploring.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, that's... Yep. Mine was targeted.
Okay.
After the second season aired, it really became unclear if the show was gonna get a third season. And, that, I don't know. A lot of people were upset about that. But apparently, sometime in 2018, Verve announced that, they were going to renew for a third season. But I didn't find out until this week from an Instagram ad.
Nice.
That the show for us is coming out tomorrow. For people, that's August 18th.
Wow. Okay, well... Instagram coming in clutch.
Yeah, so you can imagine my surprise when I learned the show that I love so much is coming back in literally 2 days.
Wow, that's kind of great though, because there's almost no anticipation. You just get it right away.
I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, no, what this show is in my life, it's one of the influences that got me to play D&D, along with, the Adventure Zone and all the other D&D podcasts. And I'm trying to get into Critical Role, I swear. But yeah, when season 1 of HarmonQuest came out, D&D was still coming into the mainstream. It wasn't as big a thing as it is now. And I do think that HarmonQuest did a lot to help popularize role-playing games in general.
Nice.
Yeah, because I think because Dan Harmon is one of the creators for the show, and at the time Rick and Morty is really popular. I think just kind of piggybacking off of that popularity is, how they did that. But also that's how I found out about the show. But the person I really fell in love with the show was the game master, Spencer Crittenden. And I remember after watching the first season, I looked into how, these people met, more or less. And it turns out they started playing D&D on Harmontown. And the most kind of spectacular part is that Spencer was just originally a member of the audience who went to the live tapings of Harmontown. And then I think Dan was talking about when he was a kid and when it rained in, they would play D&D, and he just fell in love with it. And that's what really made him like interested in writing, and kind of was the impetus for him becoming a writer. So then he called out into the audience, asked, "Hey, anyone like a DM or GM here?" And Spencer's hand just like shot up into the air. And then Dan brought him onto stage so that they could do like live D&D. And then that ended up becoming like a scheduled thing in their podcast for like, I don't know how long, but so many episodes. Just listening back to those old Harmontown episodes, listening to Spencer DM and GM those games, that was, at least for freshman college year Alan, that was everything to me.
Wow, that's actually a really inspiring story.
Right? Like, for me, I felt like I had someone to look up to, right? Because I was just getting into D&D, and I wanted to be like a DM like Spencer. He's, you listen to him, he's been doing it for so many years. It's like he's honed his craft. He was so creative, and he was whimsical, and he was able to like put up with all the shit from the players and still progress the story. And and he knows all the rules. Like, there's never like a moment, because they don't edit down the show, by the way, like their podcast. It's all straight and live.
Oh, snap.
I know. So like, and there are no like major pauses to look up rules like I have in actual groups.
Right.
And just, he's able to deliver the role playing lines or any just like silly things in just the most serious or deadpan like delivery.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just listening to him work. It was amazing. And then getting to see him on this like show, this on HarmonQuest, because he's also one of the creators, and he has to write all the stories and go over the roles with the guest stars that are coming in, and just making this amazing show. It just made me really happy to see him succeed like that. And you said it yourself, Sal, when you brought up like when we were talking about Coy and Perry, right? It's really nice to see nerds succeed.
Yeah, 100%. It just goes to show you that if you have enough passion for something, then you can succeed. So I love those kinds of stories.
And it's not just I don't know, it just feels so inspiring because it's not just like a TV show story that we draw inspiration from. Like, this happened in real life.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what else to say about HarmonQuest. It's a fantastic show. It's strange in the story, in the way it's filmed, in the way it's presented, but it's also like amazing and unique to watch.
It's strange that something with so much history and that's been around for like a while with a dedicated fan base, and it just kind of goes completely over my head. When that happens, it's just so weird because you're like, oh, this thing has just been here and no one, or I haven't heard of it.
I feel like there's no way I haven't talked about this before.
Maybe. I don't remember though.
Alright, I mean, that's also fair. It was on a fairly small streaming service, which collapsed and then went to another small streaming service.
True.
Yeah, no, by the time of this episode release, the season 3 is out. It's, like I said, it's going to be released weekly, but seasons 1 and 2 are also on Verve, and y'all should catch up on those, because it's amazing. Sal.
Hello.
What did you get excited about this week?
All right, so speaking of things that have been around forever and for some reason went over my head.
Oh?
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the upcoming movie. It's called Little Women, and it is a coming-of-age period drama about 4 American sisters in the aftermath of the Civil War who are searching for their place in the world. And it's during a time where women were told like their only ambition should be getting married and having a family.
Yeah, you said it was post-Civil War?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be talking about. It doesn't seem nerdy until I until I tell you that it was based on a book and it had many film play adaptations. So before I get into that, though, it is directed by Greta Gerwig, who also directed the critically acclaimed 2017 movie Lady Bird.
Oh.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I didn't see it, but I know it won like an Oscar, right? Or what do movies win?
I don't know. I don't keep up with that. But yes, it did. It did win things. But this movie's going to be released on Christmas of this year.
Hey, just like Star Wars.
Yay! The reason why I'm excited for this is because if you know me, I am a huge sucker for coming of age movies, YA novels, and teen drama shows. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. I am the demographic for them for whatever reason.
Look, we all have our own things, and it's pretty great. No need to question it.
It's just, I just eat this crap up. But I actually accidentally came across this trailer while browsing YouTube late at night, because that's what I do when I'm just like, my mind is dead. And I was initially interested because I seen Emma Watson in the thumbnail.
Ooh.
And so then I went down like a rabbit hole of this information. So first of all, the cast of this film, Emma Watson, Saoirse Ronan, who was the girl that played in Lady Bird, Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, definitely butchered that, because that name has an accent over one of the E's.
Yep. He was in the movie Call Me By Your Name. Laura Dern is in it, and also Meryl Streep.
All right, those two names I recognize.
Yes, because they're older too. But so yeah, the cast is pretty stacked. So this movie is based off of a book by Louisa May Alcott, and it is a book by the same name, published in 1868.
Dude, that's what that's,
I know.
I don't know, over 140 years old.
It is so old, and it's a really popular book.
Like, even nowadays?
Even nowadays. Like, I seen that it gets on, like, top 100 book recommended lists a lot, too.
That's crazy. How does, like, a piece of literature hold up for over 100 years?
I know. And the weird thing is, like, I've never heard of this author or this book. And I would have thought I maybe would have come across it in school once, but I haven't.
Right? You think it'd be one of those one would be forced to read.
Yeah. So, but what's really cool is she was actually kind of one of the pioneers of this form of storytelling for women, because, I mean, 1868, she's writing about women following their dreams. That must have been tough. Looking into the movie further, this is actually the 8th film adaptation of this movie.
What the?
8th. And I've never heard of any of the other ones. But, so, the first adaptation was in 1917.
1917 during the First World War?
Yeah. And the last adaptation was of September of last year.
So not even...
So it hasn't...
What's happening?
It's been like a year and they're already adapting the movie again.
All right, maybe that's why it feels like like it's familiar. Maybe it was the last year's edition.
I don't even know, but so there was an adaptation in 1994. And this one in particular stuck out to me because the main cast had Winona Ryder in it.
Ooh, my favorite, Joyce Byers.
Yeah, as well as Claire Danes, Kristen Dunst, and Christian Bale. And then last year's adaptation, which was a modern retelling of the story.
So not during the Civil War.
Not during the Civil War. It actually got pretty bad reviews, but
Oh no.
that aside, it starred Sarah Davenport, Lee Thompson, and Lucas Gabriel. So that kind of gives you an idea what that one was about. But it was also adapted as a stage play, and it had 5 different television adaptations as well.
Like television movies or series?
Series.
What the hell?
I know.
What is this show? This is much more pervasive than the thing I was talking about. Yet it's flown over both of our heads.
This thing has been around like since forever and had so many adaptations, and for some reason I've never heard of it. So I just thought that was super mind-blowing. So I'm gonna link you the trailer real quick so you can get an idea of what this is about.
All right, that seemed like a really nice mix of a lot of different, like, kind of fun story things and a powerful message towards the end.
Yeah, it looks very pure and very important message. Looks like probably just one of those movies you get a good cry out of.
Yeah, I did start tearing up towards the end there.
And it's based off this like really classic book, and I'm just super interested in what this is. So that's why I got really excited about it, because I don't know, it just seems like one of those things that needs to be watched. So I have high hopes because of the director, and the cast is great, but yeah.
More than anything, this has made me really interested in what the source material is like. It's been adapted so many times. Even now in 2019, I wonder, like, what's the difference between the adaptations, and if there is, like, how true is any of them to the source material, especially this piece of writing that came out in, 1860s?
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know anything about the literature from that time, and, like, language is something that evolves, and I do, like, what was the language like back then? I can't help but think it was more primitive.
Oh man, it's probably really rough to read.
But no, the movie trailer looks pretty great. Just off the trailer alone, it made me laugh, and reminds me of like kind of old like sister. Like, do you remember old Disney Channel movies? Like, oh gosh, there was the one with the sisters playing volleyball, or just like Tia and Tamora on Twitches.
Yeah.
Just, where are the sister shows?
Right. Just very, very pure.
Very pure and wholesome.
So, yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know why I love coming of age movies so much, but it's just that idea of finding your place in the world. Just, I love people's stories of how they figured out who they were and what they were gonna be. So
those stories are great.
Yeah,
and they inspire us to do at least something similar.
Yes, at least.
Stories like that make us a little more brave instead of more reluctant to find out who we are.
Yeah, so they're great, and I'm excited for this movie.
When's it coming out?
Christmas.
Oh, that's right. Oh, what a nice Christmas treat.
Yeah, and I love Christmas so much, so I'm definitely going to check this out. Probably going to see Star Wars too, but I'm actually kind of more excited for this because, I don't know, the new Star Wars trilogy. That's another topic.
That's another topic. I'll go with you if you're going to go watch both.
Hey, all right.
It's just, I don't know, that's weird, like, but weird in the good way. How has this come to pass?
Right?
And like, okay, so the story, it takes place in the 1860s.
Yes, or at least presumably looking at all the backdrop and their clothes and stuff.
No, like the Wikipedia page says the story takes place in the 1860s.
Oh, okay. Well then.
And it was written in the 1860s. So at the time, this was like a contemporary modern piece.
Yeah.
And
That's
now it's
so crazy to think about.
yeah, and now it's just this like period piece. Like what the hell?
Oh man. What would the author think now?
Wow, that's what we got excited about this week. Season 3 of HarmonQuest, and now a 2019 adaptation of Little Women. Thank you so much for joining and enthusing with us this week. If you like what you heard, consider sharing it with a buddy, and you guys can nerd out together for these amazing things we have to come. If you'd like to help out the show, a review on our iTunes and our Stitcher pages, they do go a long way towards podcast visibility, like through the app like metric system or algorithm. If you have any recommendations for the show, like things we should check out or improvements we can make to the show, feel free to leave them in the comments of our SoundCloud page. If you want to see pictures from our recent convention coverage or what I think is a really good picture of us in our groomsmen attire for our friend Jacob's wedding, be sure to check out our Instagram. We also have lots of really cool cosplay, and you know, if you guys want to meet those cosplayers and go to their Instagrams, we link them on our Instagram. If you like what we do here on Those Nerds Over There and you want to help produce the show, then consider becoming a patron. It's thanks to the support of our patrons like Eloy and Sus that, you know, we get to set aside this period of time each week to talk about these strange yet cool things that just get us genuinely excited about what's coming up in like life. And, you know, we try to give our patrons some stuff too. And Sal edited together a wonderful video of us eating spicy food, for example. And we have bonus content like that for you guys. If you want a place to hang out with us, then feel free to join our Discord. We're basically on there daily. And it's a good way to contact us. Or, you know, if you want to leave stuff like nut jar offerings, show improvements, things we should check out. And there's also, you know, topic discussions. Links to all these pages can be found on our website, thosenerdscast.wixsite. That's wixsite.com/home. Sal, do you have anything to plug?
Yes. So if you want to find me, I'm on social media at Salzik on Twitter, at Mr. Salzik on Instagram, Salzik on Twitch, and my blog, gotamoment.com.
You can find me on Twitter at ArielEyes_. Don't post too much except for random nonsense, but it's a good way to get in contact with the show, or you can always contact us at thosenerdscast or thosenerdscast@gmail.com. Thank you again for joining us this week, and we'll see you again next Wednesday.
Goodbye.